It's getting crunch time in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, and both men's and women's basketball here at Bethune-Cookman University are gearing up for their run on the scope in the MEAC basketball tournament, which is right around the corner. With that said, let's get ready for this episode of the BCU Wildcat Basketball Insider Show. On the verge of possibly clinching their second consecutive MEAC basketball regular season title, we sat down with head coach Vanessa Blair-Lewis to talk about the pressures of repeating and how her team's looking coming down the stretch.
Well, our starters have really picked up, and you look back 2 months ago and it was really bleak for them. I'm not sure what had our slow start the way we began. I don't know if it was the pressure of being a returning MEAC co-champion, the shoes that it was going to take to fill that role, but we finally got into conference play and we relaxed a little bit. We were back in our gym. You know, it was a level of comfortability, and our seniors have been able to, our upperclassmen have been able to just be steady for us. But then there was a bright spot that jumped out, Ashanti Hunt, that because they knew about Kendra Cooper, and because they knew about Kaylin Williams, and they knew about Taylor Houston's contributions, that she could hit you from the inside or the outside, they were prepared for that. But Ashanti Hunt just blossomed in the midst of them being the focal point. And now she has become another weapon, so to speak, for other teams to have to deal with. And it's hard to take away so many weapons. When you're in high school, you maybe have one or two players that if you can contain them, you know, you could probably win a game. In college, you probably have three, you know, possibly maybe four, but to have five weapons on the floor at one time is difficult for other teams, and not just the ones that are on the floor, but the ones that come off the bench are really able to continue to toe the line. But our starters, Kendra Cooper, this last game, senior night, was huge for our seniors because this group has never beaten Hampton University. And to beat them in the fashion that we did, with Kendra Cooper really hitting a dagger to separate this game on a run, which they came back, was really big for her. And their night she has 3 points, and their night she has 23 points. But her being on the floor attracts so much attention. Kaylin Williams, who's moving up the ranks in block shots, and the yeoman's job she does for staying in the paint and cleaning up everybody's mess, as we say. Anybody that gets by their man, they got to run into Kaylin. She has just been steady for us. Taylor Houston, being able to hit from the outside, defend the toughest post player, you know, and then be able to score for us in transition the way that she has. Those four players, Ashanti Hunt, Taylor Houston, Kaylin Williams, and Kendra Cooper, once they're all in double figures, and it doesn't have to be 20, they're 10, 11, 12, 13, around there. The rest of it is icing because you have the Emily Williams that can shoot, the Armani Walkers that can come off the bench, the Kanisha Battles, who we call the microwave. She usually has more points than minutes when she gets in the game. Aaliyah Godfrey, who's shown some great spark for us in these non-conference games coming off the bench. We have a lot of weapons, and it's just really, we're a problem for people. Well, I'll tell you, I've never seen a shooter go through as long of a slump as Kendra Cooper had to, and her resiliency to get through that is phenomenal. You know, for her, she went through those moments where I was just this leading scorer in the nation. I was just the leading three-point scorer in the conference, and now I can't get my groove. And you're talking about over a period of months that she was not able to be the Kendra Cooper we came to know and love. And then January hits, and like I said, I think there was a calm that came over the girls because this was familiar territory. They knew these teams. This wasn't a one and done, we'd go out to Texas and play a team and come back. They knew these teams. It was great to get back into our gym. And, you know, for Coop to find herself, anytime you wanted to know where she was in the gym trying to get herself back. And I think she just calmed down. She relaxed in the moment. She was in a familiar place again, and she's just been able to thrive. Angel Golden, she has come in as a freshman and been able to contribute right away. And last year, you know, when Ashanti Hunt wasn't the Ashanti Hunt we know right now, we were able to play them on the floor for a lot of minutes at the same time. So you had two, you know, we call them like the Splash Sisters on the floor, you know, being able to hit you from the outside. So Angel has had a lot of time and a lot of minutes. So she's not a young sophomore. She's a seasoned and polished sophomore. So when she comes off the bench, and now because Ashanti is playing so well, her minutes aren't as great as they were last year, but she's able to continue that steady spark for us off the bench. Well, I think we probably have more than one X factor. Chasman, she has shown up in plenty of games for us. She has been the reason when we got in tough situations early in our non-conference with Savannah State, with Morgan State, with Coppin State. She's been able to come in and give us that boost from the inside. And she's tough, and she's able to rebound, and she's able to score. And so I think her getting some prime minutes behind Kaylin has proven that down the stretch, I think we're going to be able to not save Kaylin so much, but to win this thing, you've got to play 3 great games almost in a row. And so to have, good fresh legs, you need that bench to be able to help you to solidify that championship. Also, Kanisha Battle. Like I said, we call her the microwave. She usually has more points than minutes. She comes in and she's able to give you a scoring threat. And she's athletic and quick enough to defend and rebound. She plays in a tough spot behind Ashanti and Coop, but when she gets her minutes, she's able to go in there and do the same thing we need Chaz to do most nights, is to give those starters a rest, and it's going to prove very valuable going into tournament play.
Bring on the madness at the 2017 Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference men's and women's basketball tournament. Bring on the dunks, the trays, the steals, and the blocked shots. Bring on the enthusiasm and the excitement. Bring on the champions and the dance. Get your tickets today at MEACHoops.com, member institutions and Ticketmaster. And bring on the madness at the 2017 MEAC tournament, March 6th through the 11th at Scope Arena in Norfolk, Virginia.
At BCU, every game is a life lesson.
A chance to show faith, respect,
and sportsmanship.
It's bigger than winning or losing.
There's life beyond the game.
Opportunities beyond the classroom.
Responsibilities to our community.
On a much larger stage.
As ambassadors to the world.
Leaders, champions, we are Wildcats. And we believe in faith, integrity, and love. Enter to learn, depart to serve. That's the Bethune-Cookman way. Go Wildcats!
Do you want to wear what the real Wildcats wear? You can get your official BCU Wildcat team gear from the comfort of your own home online at bcusportshop.com, the official online store of BCU Wildcat Athletics. Save your gas money. Avoid the hassles in the mall. Click on bcusportshop.com and get the best in Wildcat wear delivered to you in just 48 hours. bcusportshop.com, the official Wildcat online store.
The DNA of Bethune-Cookman comes from the heart of a great woman whose legacy lives on today in each and every Wildcat.
I leave you love.
I leave you hope.
I leave you a thirst for education.
I leave you faith.
I leave you, finally, a responsibility to our young people.
Great leaders always leave something for others to follow.
What will you leave us?
While fans notice the wins and losses by coaches, it's sometimes easy to overlook the person that handles travel, meals, and the day-to-day operations that happen for any program around the nation. We sat down and took an inside look at Jasmine Knowles on her transition from player to administrator, now as the BCU Women's Basketball Director of Basketball Operations.
Jasmine Knowles is the Director of Basketball Operations, so she does everything behind the scenes. Everything that makes this thing go is in Jazz's hands. From the time we leave here to get on the bus, to travel on the plane, to get to the hotel, to the food we eat, to how the clothes get washed, to how the girls tie their shoes. That's Jasmine. And to go from being a basketball player to that role, I thought would be difficult for most players because they usually never see that. And our players never really see how this gets done, but they show up in their uniforms, they're in the locker room, their shoes are, in their bag, and their food is on the table. And so I think this has given Jasmine a perspective that she never had, that there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, more than the 2 hours that you see come game time.
As Coach Blair mentioned, I'm actually the Director of Basketball Operations. It kind of falls under the category of a coach, but it's not really a coach. Making that transition from being their teammate to now being their Director of Basketball Operations, it wasn't that hard of a transition, if you can believe it. I think I really prepared myself my senior year to kind of just separate myself from being their friend and being their teammate to developing into the leadership role that I'm in now. So because I prepared myself last year, it's actually been easier. I've witnessed the girls just kind of the way that they attract to me now is different. It's more so on a professional level, but still they feel like they can come to me as their teammate and they can talk to me about whatever they're going through. But I'm more so of, I like to say, their cheerleader right now. You know, on the court, when they're playing, maybe not the loudest next to Chandler and, you know, Coach Blair, but maybe the third loudest out there, just cheering them on and encouraging them and, you know, telling them next play if they mess up or if they do good, just clapping for them.
But it was a no-brainer with Jazz because she had garnered the respect from her teammates, from the university, and from the administration. So when her name was brought up to fill this role, it was a unanimous yes. And I think that she's done a phenomenal job separating from being the player that was their friend and teammate last year to being this young person now who's in a role, in a professional role, who's now trying to gear her career around these next giant steps she takes in her profession.
Well, I'm more so, as I mentioned before, their cheerleader, maybe more so like a mentor to them if you want to exchange that out for being a coach. So when I see that they're going through a tough slump or when they're doing good, you know, I just try to give them the advice to, well, what are you doing to change, you know, the outcome of what you have right now? So they definitely do come to me and they trust in me and confide in me. And, you know, if they need any advice on if a girl's in front of them, you know, how to shake her, you know, I kind of offer my notes. In practice, I kind of tease them sometimes when I'm playing against them or, you know, just playing one-on-one with them sometimes, you know, letting them know, get your notepad and your pen out, take notes. But, no, it's a smooth transition, and I'm really glad that I've been able to kind of just be an ear for them. And whenever they need something, just, you know, be there for them as a big sister.
Jasmine Knowles was, last year at this time, our only point guard. We suffered so many injuries, and Emily Williams, who was on and off most of the year, mainly off. Armani Walker, who had torn her ACL in August prior to the season even beginning. And so everything fell on this young lady's shoulders. And, you know, although we had replacements and subs for everybody else, there was no one for Jazz. So every night for 40 minutes, she had to shoulder a lot of responsibility. And not only that, she was a captain. You know, she was also trying to get, she was trying to graduate. So she had a lot of pressure on her to deliver every night. And there were some games that were better than others. And there were times she had, you know, we had to come down on her from a point guard standpoint, but also had to try to find a balance, you know, because this is the only one we had. You know, this is it. And she did a yeoman's job. We won a championship, something we've never done on her back.
Being able to go back to the tournament and have the opportunity to get another ring, to get another championship under our belt. I mean, of course, it's not as a player, but it's still, you know, the same meaning and even more meaningful because I'm being able to impact them still, which I wasn't sure that I could be able to do. But, you know, it's really great, and I'm really happy for them. And some of my other teammates from prior years were just talking to me the other day, and they were like, man, Jazz, you're about to get maybe 2 or 3 rings on us, and we haven't even gotten one. So it's a good feeling. I'm happy that I'm in the position that I am to get another ring.
Bring on the madness at the 2017 Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference men's and women's basketball tournament. Bring on the dunks, the trays, the steals, and the blocked shots. Bring on the enthusiasm and the excitement. Bring on the champions and the dance. Get your tickets today at MEACHoops.com, member institutions and Ticketmaster, and bring on the madness of the 2017 MEAC tournament, March 6th through the 11th at Scope Arena in Norfolk, Virginia.
At BCU, every game is a life lesson.
A chance to show faith,
respect,
and sportsmanship.
It's bigger than winning or losing.
There's life beyond the game. Opportunities beyond the classroom.
Responsibilities to our community.
On a much larger stage.
As ambassadors to the world.
Leaders, champions, we are Wildcats. And we believe in faith, integrity, and love. Enter to learn, depart to serve. That's the Bethune-Cookman way. Go Wildcats!
Do you want to wear what the real Wildcats wear? You can get your official BCU Wildcat team gear from the comfort of your own home online at bcusportshop.com, the official online store of BCU Wildcat Athletics. Save your gas money. Avoid the hassles in the mall. Click on bcusportshop.com and get the best in Wildcat wear delivered to you in just 48 hours. bcusportshop.com, the official Wildcat online store.
The DNA of Bethune-Cookman comes from the heart of a great woman whose legacy lives on today in each and every Wildcat.
I leave you love.
I leave you hope.
I leave you a thirst for education.
I leave you faith.
I leave you finally a responsibility to our young people.
Great leaders always leave something for others to follow.
What will you leave us?
With so many injuries as well as newcomers to this year's squad, head coach Gravel Craig and his staff have continued to keep the Wildcats motivated in men's basketball. Anything can happen coming into the MEAC basketball tournament, and we sat down with the head ball coach to talk about his expectations coming down the stretch of the season.
Well, we've talked about just learning from our mistakes in the past, and we've worked on them daily, just trying to learn how to finish games. We don't have a true point guard, so we have to do things differently at the end of ball games, and we've worked on them every day in practice. I mean, we spend at least 20, 30 minutes just trying to last 3-4 minutes of a ball game because it's been a problem for us. It's caused us to lose some ball games. So I'm starting to see the progress in that area, and it showed the last 2 games this past weekend and Monday. So hopefully we're turning the corner with that right in time for the conference tournament, because usually conference tournament it's about matchups and it's about end of the game situations. We missed 1-on-1s, missed 2 shots in previous games back to start of the season, which has hurt us throughout the season. And we've actually been shooting free throws a lot better. And now in the stretch, we're emphasizing let's make them in the stretch. That's when they count. So we do little game situations in practice, and I think it's helped and it's paying off. Yeah, you got to make adjustments throughout the year, especially in conference play, because teams start seeing what you're doing and try to capitalize on your shortcomings. So we just try to mix in a little bit of press here and there. We're not a 40-minute press team, but against certain teams we'll try to do a 2-2-1 press or a 3-2 press. And also defense, we're just really figuring out that our best defense is the 1-3-1. And again, it's something you can't play all game, but you got to pick your spots and be able to play your best defense at certain times of the ball game. Jeff Altidore is more of a natural point guard than Diamante, so what it allows me to move him over, Diamante over to the off guard position, which is his natural position. And Jeff's been getting better and progressing throughout the year to a point now where I can put him in. I have confidence in him late in ball games, so I can make that transition, which has made us better down the stretch. Just to have a more natural point guard running your team, making decisions the last 3-4 minutes of a ball game. Brandon Suggs and Almer Manzi both have shown a lot of progress throughout the year. Just looking back on when they first started to now, they've really progressed, and through repetition, because we had to throw them in the fire. I expected them to be behind an experienced player, but when that didn't happen, when we lost LeRon, we just had to throw them out there. I mean, it'll help us moving forward in the future. But the progress they've made, I've been pleased with, and looking forward to working with them as we move forward. Brandon's game and Almer's game is a little bit different. Brandon's is more athletic, shoots the ball a little bit more skilled post, more of a face-up 5, and Almer just kind of bangs you and bruises. Not as athletic, so he has a hard time scoring over people. He scores more off drop-offs and putbacks. But Brandon actually is more of a skilled 5, and Almer more of a power 5. Same thing with Houston. I mean, freshman is just adjustment. And, he's at a position where he's playing at 3 and 4. He's playing behind Quentin and Brandon Tabb. So it wasn't a lot of minutes. I was playing them guys a lot of minutes. But I can see the progress with him as well, and he's been practicing a lot better the last 2-3 weeks of the season. So I just wanted to get him out there and get some experience. And he's a capable player. I mean, if he had just, he didn't have them guys in front of him, veterans in front of him, he would have been out there and getting a lot of the reps. But I'm looking forward to him. Like the same thing with the other freshmen. The progress he's made is good, and I'm looking forward to working with him also. Brandon Tabb, he's progressed. And the thing about it, I told him that teams were going, once we get into conference play, because he ended up averaging about 20 non-conference, teams are not just going to let you score 20 points a game. They're going to box and 1 you. They're going to not let you catch. They're going to try to take away your strengths, which is shooting the ball, and make your driver do things that they consider your weakness. So he's adjusted to it. He's starting to drive the ball a little more, starting to shot fake, one dribble shot. So he's made the adjustment, and then the other phase is the defensive phase. He's gotten better rebounding, being in position defensively. So he's actually progressed also. Diamante Lewis and Reggie Baker, two senior guards, have done a really good job of stressing to the team and keeping the team focused and like I said, stressing about staying the course, especially when we struggle early. And I stressed that to them, and I stressed that they needed to be leaders and stressed that to the team. That is not about how you start, it's how you finish. And stay the course. And D was around last year, part of the team, where we struggled early and we did well late, headed into conference play, and that was part of staying the course also. So that's what I tried to stress to them guys, to stress to the team, because they're going to look to them for some type of leadership. And they done a good job of that. And they both are good teammates. A couple of them here, Reggie doesn't play end of one game, but he comes in and makes 2 free throws against FAM. D doesn't play the end of another game where we win. And they're both happy about it. They just want to win, and they want to finish strong. And they did a good job of just keeping the team focused. Saying I got in the locker room is not how you start, it's how you finish. And finishing ball games. That's the biggest thing is we've been in enough close ball games that we're experienced. So a close ball game come tournament time or towards the end of the season, it shouldn't affect us because every game we've played been a close ball game. So now just do the things within the game, and that'll take care of the win, the victory, the win. Don't worry, concentrate on, okay, we got to win or we got to do this. Just do the things within the game, and then you look up, you'll be victorious.
Bring on the madness at the 2017 Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament. Bring on the dunks, the trays, the steals, and the blocked shots. Bring on the enthusiasm and the excitement. Bring on the champions and the dance. Get your tickets today at MEACHoops.com, member institutions and Ticketmaster. And bring on the madness at the 2017 MEAC Tournament, March 6th through the 11th at Scope Arena in Norfolk, Virginia.
At BCU, every game is a life lesson.
A chance to show faith, respect,
and sportsmanship.
Is bigger than winning or losing.
There's life beyond the game. Opportunities beyond the classroom.
Responsibilities to our community.
On a much larger stage.
As ambassadors to the world.
Leaders, champions, we are Wildcats. And we believe in faith, integrity, and love. Enter to learn, depart to serve. That's the Bethune-Cookman way. Go Wildcats!
Do you want to wear what the real Wildcats wear? You can get your official BCU Wildcat team gear from the comfort of your own home online at bcusportshop.com, the official online store of BCU Wildcat Athletics. Save your gas money. Avoid the hassles in the mall. Click on bcusportshop.com and get the best in Wildcat wear delivered to you in just 48 hours. bcusportshop.com, the official Wildcat online store.
The DNA of Bethune-Cookman comes from the heart of a great woman whose legacy lives on today in each and every Wildcat.
I leave you love.
I leave you hope.
I leave you a thirst for education.
I leave you faith.
I leave you, finally, a responsibility to our young people.
Great leaders always leave something for others to follow.
What will you leave us?
With so much on the line this season for women's basketball, we sat down with the starting five to talk about their expectations going into the MEAC tournament, the pressures of repeating as MEAC basketball regular season champs, and how the team gelled throughout the course of the season.
The experience level of our team is we're really mature with a few new players. So honestly, a lot of us try to help the newer kids and also learn and grow as we progress.
I think coming back with a lot more experience this year, and we all know what we want to do, and it's not just going to jump as a surprise to us like it did last year, like, oh, we're actually good. Like, this year we know that we're good and we know that we can win. And I think we're trying to go out on the court every time we go on the court and just know, like, okay, we can beat this team, and not know that, okay, we have to give this team our best game in order to beat them. Like, this time we're the ones that's being hunted, so we're getting everybody's best game while we just have to play up to our level.
I think, last year, I guess, we were still a veteran team, but we still had a few things to work on. I think we learned the idea that everything's not going to be perfect in every game. You know, we're going to come down, and I think that's one thing that we've learned to do this year is we might be down by 20, but we're going to fight back and, you know, do our best to win the game. And I think that comes with, you know, having a veteran team. As far as me, you know, being the leader of the team, it's nice knowing that, you know, I have other people on the team that step up, and it doesn't all like have to rely on me.
Honestly, when we're having an off night, it gets to us, but our coaches try to tell us not to worry about that too much. Just play the game and let things flow. So having other people be able to come in and get points and help us either on the defense or offensive end, it takes stress off of us, really. And we like to get up so we can let the younger kids play or even anybody else play. So honestly, we try really not to worry about bad games.
We're going to have to come in and we're going to have to play every game like it's our last and give it our all because everybody's going to give us their best game. You know, we're not coming in the game hunting people anymore. We're the hunted. So we have to come in and put our foot down, set the tone early, play all 40 minutes, play from start to finish strong. We were all hurt by last year getting beat by South Carolina State in the first round of the tournament. So I know a lot of us, me, Kay, and Coop specifically, really want to come back this year and just make sure that we really finish it out this time. Like, there is no second go around like it is this year. Like, it's really all or nothing now. So
MEAC didn't go as well for us last year as we planned, but this year we coming back hungry. We need everything. So we're gonna play hard, and like I said, not take anyone lightly because that's kind of what it was last year. We had beaten them every other game, and we thought we had it in the bag, but we came out not too sure of ourselves and underestimating them. So this go around, we got to really make sure we handle business.
We ended the conference off with 12-4, went into the MEAC. We beat South Carolina State 2 times. It was going on for the 3rd time. And I guess they just caught us slipping. So this year we have to just be prepared for everything.
I think last year was a big enough wake-up call, honestly, I think being there and going back to Norfolk honestly kind of reminded us when we played Norfolk State, was kind of reminded like, okay, like this is where everything happens. So we already know like when we step on the court, it's all or nothing. Like we have to do what we have to do.
We can't take anybody lightly. We're going to have to play every game like it's the championship game to get to the championship and finish the championship this year and win it. Be able to go to the NCAA for the first time ever. It's going to be a great feeling.
We just got to keep playing how we playing. Play hard, play smart, and play together, honestly, and not take anyone lightly. Go out and handle business.
I think we have to do what we've been doing, just coming out ready to play every night. We know that everybody's going to give us their best game, so we got to make sure that we put our best game out there too, not playing down to our level of competition. Everybody coming ready to play.
We have to be more smarter, honestly, from last year. We have turned the ball over extremely too much. But if we can just stay focused, continue to win ball games, continue to execute, listen to our coaches, play good defense, and just be ready for anybody because we know that everyone's coming for us, especially because of what happened last year. If we're just ready and prepared for every team, we'll be fine.
Unfortunately, we're out of time for this episode of the BCU Wildcat Basketball Insider Show. But if you want to stay up to date on women's and men's basketball here at BCU, follow us on social media, BCU Athletics. Until next time, I'm Brian Harvey. This has been the BCU Wildcat Basketball Insider Show.